Mirandasya Gamanjala Chakshurana Tasmai Shri Guru Namaha Namo Vishwadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Vicharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaurabhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. In devotional service, there is no frustration. Even if you perform only a small amount, it will grow. Devotional service is never lost. As far as material things are concerned, whatever we gain in this world will be lost when the body is finished. But since we are eternal spiritual sparks, our spiritual assets go with us. Gradually fructifying in this way, those who have previously cultivated transcendental consciousness come in contact with Krishna consciousness through this movement. Interest in Krishna consciousness is not commonplace. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that out of many millions and billions of persons, only one is interested in achieving perfection. If we can advertise that simply by reading this book and meditating for 15 minutes, anyone can immediately get power, become successful in business, and pass his examination, many people would be attracted to the book. People are not attracted to Krishna consciousness because they prefer to be treated by Maya. They think that perfection of life is in eating a great supply of food or in sleeping 24 hours or in having a new maid every night or every day. People are interested in these things but not in the perfection of life. Every intelligent man should at least experiment with Krishna consciousness. He should say, "Alright, I've been enjoying this eating and sleeping for so many lives. These things are available for me to enjoy in my birth and animal bodies. Now, in this life, let me restrict the four principles of minimalistic life: eating, sleeping, defending, and waiting, and let me devote my time to developing Krishna consciousness. In this way, my life will be successful." It is not that we have coined this term Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is the oldest phrase in the history of the world. Manmanabha vimadbhakto madhyajivam namaskuru mame vishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. Manmanabha vimadbhakto madhyajivam namaskuru mame vishyasi yuktavyam atmanam matprayana. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. The result is that you will come to me without fear. I promise you this because you are my dear friend. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Engage your body in my service and surrender it to me. Completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. The phrase Man Mana Bhav Madbhakta means just be always conscious of me. This is then is Krishna consciousness. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is repeatedly saying that we should worship him, offer obeisances unto him, and then come to him. Bhagavad Gita clearly points out to the absolute necessity of Krishna consciousness, and Bhagavad Gita is accepted as the essence of the Upanishads. Even from historical point of view, it has no comparison. It has been calculated on the basis of archaeological evidence that Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita on the battlefield of Kurukshetra more than 5,000 years ago. So this Krishna consciousness movement, even from a historical point of view, is 5,000 years old. Its philosophy is the oldest in the history of the world. If we wish to trace it even further back, we find that Sri Krishna spoke it earlier to the sun god. Krishna is eternal and the consciousness of Krishna is also eternal. In this way, Krishna consciousness should be approached. It should not be simply considered a theory. When Krishna consciousness is covered by any other consciousness, we experience our contaminated conditional life. When the sky is clear, we can see the sun's brilliant effulgence, but when it is covered by clouds, we cannot see it. We may be able to perceive the sunlight, but we cannot see the sun disk itself. When the sky is clear, it is in the natural condition. Similarly, our consciousness is eternally Krishna consciousness, because we are part and parcel of Krishna eternally. This is asserted in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Mamaivashu jivaloke jivabhuta sanatanaha sanatana manashasthindriyani manashasthani indriyani prakriti-sthani karshati. The living entities in this conditioned world are my fragmental parts and they are eternal. But due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with six senses, which includes the mind. Somehow or other, we have come in contact with material nature, and because of the mind and six senses, we are struggling hard to exist. That is Darwin's theory, the struggle for existence, survival of the fittest. However, the actual fact is that our constitutional position is not one of the struggle. Struggle is the position of animal life. Human life should be blissful and should have as its goal spiritual advancement. At one time, it was India's principle of life, and there was a class of people, the Brahmanas, who engaged themselves exclusively in spiritual culture. Although Brahminical cultural life is enunciated in the scriptures of India, it is not for Indians alone, but for all human beings. The Vedas were written for all mankind, but it so happened that when the Vedas were written, what is now known as the Indian culture was the only one extant. At that time, the whole planet was called Bharatvarsh after Emperor Bharat Maharaj, the son of Rishabdev. Bharat Maharaj ruled the whole planet, but gradually the planet was divided up. So the dharma of Vedic culture should not completely consider Indian or Hindu in a sectarian sense. Often the word dharma is translated to mean religion, but to conceive of dharma as religion is to misconceive the word. In general usage, the word religion refers to a particular type of faith. The word dharma does not. Dharma indicates the natural occupation of the living entity. For example, wherever there is fire, there is heat and light. So it may be said that heat and light are the dharma of fire. Fire cannot change its dharma. In this way, liquidity is an intrinsic quality of water, and this quality cannot be changed. If it is, it can no longer be considered water. The dharma of the individual soul can never be changed, and that dharma is the occupational duty of rendering service unto the Supreme Lord. Faiths and religions can be changed. Today I may be a Hindu, but tomorrow I may become Christian or Muslim. In this way, faiths can be changed, but dharma in a natural sequence, a natural occupation or connection. Krishna says that as soon as there is discrepancy in the discharge of the dharmas all of the living entities, when there is an upsurge of unnatural activities, he descends. One of the principal purposes of his descent is to re-establish religious principles. The best system of religion is that which best trains us to surrender unto the Supreme Lord. This is the basic this is the basic principle underlying Bhagavad Gita. We can select our own religion, be Hindu, Muslim, Buddhist, Christian, or whatever, as long as we know the real purpose of religion. Uh, as long as we know the real purpose of religion. Indeed, Srimad Bhagavatam does not recommend that we give up our present religion, but it does hint at the purpose of religion. That purpose is love of God, and that religion which teaches us best how to love the Supreme Lord is the best religion. In this age, especially, there is a general decay in consciousness of the masses of people. A few people remember that there is a God, but for most part, people are forgetting Him. Therefore, they cannot be happy. People are thinking that God is dead, or that we have no obligation to God, or that there is no God. This sort of thinking will never make for happiness. When civilization is godless or atheistic, as it is today, God or his representative comes to remind people of their relationship with the Supreme Consciousness. When Sanatana Goswami inquired from Lord Chaitanya, why am I what I am? What am I? Why am I always in a miserable condition? What is the position of all living entities? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately answered that the real identity is that of a servant of God. We should not understand the word servant in the sense of materialistic servant. To become a servant of a god is a great position. People are always trying to get some government post or some government position in a reputed business firm because the service rendered in such positions earns great profits. Although we are very anxious to get good positions in the government service, we do not stop to think of getting a good position in God's service. God is the government of all governments. God's service is dharma. This dharma may be described differently in different countries according to different cultural and climatic changes and situations, but in every religious scripture, obedience to God is instructed. No scripture says that there is no God, but that as we are living entities are independent, not the Bible, the Quran, the Vedas, or even the Buddhist literatures. Generally, according to Buddhist philosophy, there is no individual soul and no super soul. But actually, since Lord Buddha is accepted by Vedic literatures as an incarnation of God, by obeying Lord Buddha, one is actually following God. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a list of incarnations, and Lord Buddha is accepted as one of them. Srimad Bhagavatam was compiled by Ved Vyas 5,000 years ago, and Lord Buddha appeared about 2600 years ago. So Srimad Bhagavatam actually foretold the event of his incarnation. Lord Buddha preached that there is no God and no soul, that this body is a combination of matter, and that when we dissolve this material combination, sensations of misery and happiness will no longer exist. Then some Shankaracharya appeared to preach that the external feature of Brahma, the body, is merely an illusion. In all religions, temple worship and acceptance of authority are present. We may accept Krishna or Lord Jesus Christ or Jehovah or Lord Buddha or Shankaracharya or Guru Nanak, but in any case, acceptance of authority is required. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna is accepted as the supreme authority. Sometimes Krishna descends personally and sometimes he descends by his incarnations. Sometimes he descends as sound vibration and sometimes he descends as a devotee. There are many different categories of avatars. In this present age, Krishna has descended in his holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Lord Chaitanya also confirmed that in this age of Kali, Krishna has descended in the form of sound vibration. Sound is one of the forms which the Lord takes. Therefore, it is said that there is no difference between Krishna and his name. Today, people have forgotten their relationship with God, but this incarnation of Krishna in the form of holy names, the standing of Hare Krishna will deliver all the people of the world from their forgetfulness. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that if we chant or associate with the chanting of the holy names of Krishna, we will reach the highest professional stage of life. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, there are different processes for different ages, but the principle of each process remains valid in all ages. It is not that chanting of Hare Krishna is effective in this age and not in the Satyuga, nor is it that people were not chanting the holy names of Krishna in Satyuga. In Satyuga, meditation was the main process, and the great munis meditated for periods extended upwards of 60,000 years. In this age, however, perfection without that means of meditation is not possible because we are so short-lived. Consequently, in this age, it is especially recommended that we all sit together and chant Hare Krishna. It is very easy and everyone can take part in it. There is no necessity of education nor any previous qualification in it. There is no necessity of education nor any previous qualifications required. In this age, people are always very slow and unfortunate, and they are contaminated with bad association. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare as a great means of propaganda for spreading love of God. It is not that it is recommended only for Kali Yuga, actually it is recommended for every age. There have always been many devotees who have chanted and reached perfection in all ages. That is the beauty of this Krishna consciousness movement. It is not simply for one age or for one country or for one class of people. Hare Krishna can be chanted in any age, for Krishna is the supreme lord of all people in all social positions, in all countries, in all ages. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Elevation to Krishna consciousness is Krishna consciousness, the matchless gift. Spiritual knowledge to Krishna. The aim of this Krishna consciousness movement is to bring all living entities back to their original consciousness. All living entities within the material world are to varying degrees afflicted with the type of madness. This Krishna consciousness movement aims at curing man of his material disease and re-establishing his original consciousness. In a Bengali poet, a great Vaishnavi poet has written poem. When a man is haunted by ghosts, he can only speak nonsense. Similarly, when anyone who is under the influence of material nature should be considered haunted, and whatever he speaks should be considered nonsense. One may be considered a great philosopher or a great scientist, but if he is haunted by the ghost of Maya illusion, whatever he theorizes and whatever he speaks is more or less nonsensical. Today we are giving the example of a psychiatrist who, when requested to examine a murderer, proclaimed that since all the patients with whom he had come in contact were more or less crazy, the court could excuse the murderer on these grounds if it so desired. The point is that in the material world it is very difficult to find a sane living entity. The prevailing atmosphere of insanity in this world is caused by the infection of material consciousness. The purpose of this Hare Krishna movement is to bring man back to his original consciousness, which is Krishna consciousness, the clear consciousness. When water falls from the clouds, it is uncontaminated like distilled water. But as soon as it touches the ground, it becomes muddy and discolored. Similarly, we are originally pure spirit, soul, part and parcel of Krishna. Therefore, our original constitutional position is as pure as God's. In Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, Amavasha Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha, Manasasthini Prakriti Sthani Karshati. The living entities in this conditioned world are fragmental parts and they are eternal, but due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which includes the mind. Thus, all the living entities are part and parcel of Krishna. By Krishna, it should always be remembered that we are speaking of God. Krishna denoting the all-attractive Supreme Personality of Godhead. As a fragment of gold is qualitatively same as gold reservoir, so the minute particles of Krishna's body are therefore qualitatively as good as Krishna. The chemical conception of God's body and the eternal spiritual body of the living entity is the same, spiritual. Thus, originally in an uncontaminated stage condition, we possessed as a form as good as God's. But just as rain falls to the ground, we come in contact with this material world, which is manipulated by the external energy of Krishna. When we speak of external energy or material nature, the question will be raised: whose energy, whose nature? Material energy or nature is not active independently. Such a concept is foolish. In Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly stated that material nature does not work independently. When a foolish man sees a machine, he may think that it is working automatically, but actually it is not. There is a driver, someone in control. Although we sometimes cannot see the controller behind the machine due to our defective vision, there are many electronic mechanisms which work very wonderfully. But behind these intricate systems, there is a scientist who pushed the button. This is very simple to understand. Since a machine is matter, it cannot work on its own accord, but must work under spiritual direction. A tape recorder works, but it works according to the plans and under the direction of a living entity, a human being. The machine is complete, but unless it is manipulated by a spirit soul, it cannot work. Similarly, we should understand that this cosmic manifestation, which we call nature, is a great machine, and that behind this machine there is God, Krishna. This is also informed in the Bhagavad Gita when Krishna says, Maya Dakshena Maya Dakshena Prakriti Surya Teja Sacharacharam Hetunanena Kanteya Jagat Viparivartate. This material nature is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, producing all the unmoving and moving beings by its rule. This manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. There are two kinds of entities, the moving such as human beings, animals and insects, and non-moving such as trees and mountains. Krishna says that the material nature which controls both the kinds of entities is acting under his direction. Thus behind everything there is a supreme controller. Modern civilization does not understand this due to lack of knowledge. It is the purpose of the Society for Krishna Consciousness, therefore, to enlighten all people who have been maddened by the influence of the three moods of material nature. In other words, our aim is to awaken mankind to Krishna awakenation. There are many universities, especially in the United States, and many departments of knowledge, but they are not discussing these points. Where is the department for this knowledge, for that we find given by Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita? When I spoke before students and some faculty members of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, the first question raised was, where is the technological department which is investigating the difference between a dead man and a living man? When man dies, something is lost. Where is the technology to replace that? Why don't scientists try to solve this problem? Because this is a very difficult subject matter. They set it aside and basically engaged in the technology of eating, sleeping, eating, and defining. However, Vedic literatures inform us that an animal technology that this is animal technology. Animals are also trying their best to eat well, to have an enjoyable sex life, to sleep peacefully, and to defend themselves. What then is the difference between man's knowledge and the animal's knowledge? The fact is that man's knowledge should be developed to explore that difference between a living man and a dead man, a living body and a dead body. That spiritual knowledge was imparted by Krishna to Arjuna in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita. Being a friend of Krishna's, Arjuna was a very intelligent man, but his knowledge, as all men's, was limited. Krishna spoke, however, of subject matters which were beyond Arjuna's finite knowledge. These subjects are called adhokshas because our direct perception, by which we require material knowledge, fails to approach them. Similarly, for example, we have many powerful microscopes to see what we cannot see with our limited vision. But there is no microscope that can show us the soul within the body. Nevertheless, the soul is there. Bhagavad Gita informs us that in this body there is a proprietor, and the proprietor and others are the proprietors of their bodies. 5 मिनट आप 15 मिनट में आ जाऊंगी मैं 15 मिनट में मतलब 6:15 समझाते घूमे तो जाओ I say my hand but not I hand. Since it is my hand, I am different from the hand being its owner. Similarly, we speak of my eye, my leg, my this, my that. In the midst of all of these objects which belong to me, where am I? So we can understand as the process of meditation. In real meditation, we ask, where am I? What I am? What am I? We cannot find answers to these questions by any material effort. Because of this, all the universities are setting these questions aside. They say it is too difficult. It is too difficult a subject. Or they brush it aside. It is irrelevant. Thus, engineers direct their attention to creating and attempting to perfect the horseless carriage and wingless bird. Formerly, horses were drawing carriages, and there was no air pollution. But now there are cars and rockets, and the scientists are very proud. We have invented horseless carriages and wingless birds. They boast. Although they invent the imitation wings for the airplane or rocket, they cannot invent a soulless body. When they are able to do this, they will deserve credit. But such an attempt would necessarily be frustrating. For we know that there is no machine that can work without a spirit soul behind it. Even the most complicated computers need trained man to handle them. Similarly, we should know that this great machine, which is known as the cosmic manifestation, is manipulated by a supreme spirit, that is Krishna. Scientists are searching for the ultimate cause or the ultimate controller of this material universe and are postulating different theories and proposals. But the real means for knowledge is very easy and perfect. We need only hear from the perfect person, Krishna. By accepting the knowledge imparted in the Bhagavad Gita, anyone can become anyone can immediately know that this great cosmic machine of which the earth is a part is working so wonderfully because there is a driver behind it, Krishna. Our process of knowledge is very easy. Krishna's instruction Bhagavad Gita is the principal book of knowledge given by the Adi Purush himself, the supreme three-member person, the supreme personality of Godhead. He is indeed the perfect person. It may be argued that although we have accepted him as a perfect person, there are many others who do not. One should not think that this acceptance is whimsical. He is accepted as the perfect person or the evidence of ordinary qualities. We do not accept Krishna as God simply on the basis of our whims or sentiments. No. Krishna is accepted as God by many Vedic authorities like Vyasadeva, the author of all Vedic literatures. The treasure house of knowledge is contained in the Vedas, and their author Vyasadeva accepts Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead, and Vyasadeva, the spiritual master Narad, also accepts Krishna as such. Narad's spiritual master Brahma accepts Krishna not only as supreme person but the supreme controller as well. Eva Paramatma, the supreme controller is Krishna. There is no one in the creation who can claim that he is not controlled. Everyone, regardless of how important or powerful, has a controller over his head. Krishna, however, has no controller. Therefore, he is God. He is controller of everyone, but there is no one superior to him, no one to control him, nor is there anyone equal to him. No one share his platform of absolute control. This may be sound very strange, for there are many so-called gods nowadays. Indeed, gods have become so especially imported from India. People in other countries are fortunate that gods are not manufactured there. But in India, gods are manufactured practically every day. We often hear that God is coming to Los Angeles or New York, and that people are gathering to see them, etc. But Krishna is not a type of God manufactured in a mystic country. He was not made God, but he is God. We should know that on the basis of authority and behavior that identify him as nature, the person can say there is God of Krishna, that and that he is accepted by all Vedic authorities. Acceptance of authority is not new for us. Everyone accepts authority in some form or another. For education, we go to a teacher or to a school or simply learn from our father and mother. They are also authorities, and our nature is to learn from them. In our childhood, we asked, Father, what is this? And Father would say, this is a pen, these are the spectacles, or this is a table. In this way, from the very beginning of life, a child learns from his father or mother. He learns the names of things and basic relations of one thing to another by questioning his parents. A good father and mother never cheat when they son inquire from them. They give exact and correct information. Similarly, if we get special information from an authority, and if the authority is not a cheater, then our knowledge is perfect. If we attempt to reach conclusions by dint of our own speculative powers, however, we are subject to fall into error. The process of induction, by which reasoning from particular facts or individual cases, one can arrive at a general conclusion, is never a perfect process. Because we are limited, our experience is limited, and it always remains imperfect. If we receive information from a particular source, etc., and if we repeat that information, then what we are speaking can also be accepted as perfect and authoritative. The process of parampara or disciplic succession is very process of hearing from Krishna or from authority who have accompanied Krishna and repeating exactly what they have said. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna recommends this process of knowledge. Evam para praptam imam raja sayod vidu. The supreme science was thus received through scene of disciplic succession, and it can be understood in that way. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare